Attention all units. Some psychos are robbing the bank at Palomino Creek.
Shit! Just bought another donut. Don't criminals have any consideration?
Pick it up, Valero, you retarded asshole!
Okay, you know the drill with this. The Grand Theft Auto series comes out on the PS2 in October, then 6 or 7 months later it appears on the Xbox and PC. The exclusivity clause is up, and now we have 2 more versions of San Andreas to look at. The core game is the same, which of course means that it's fantastic. If you haven't played the game yet and you only own an Xbox or a PC, then by all means, run right out and get it. But if you're a multi-platform player, each of the 2 new versions has its own set of pluses and minuses, which makes the task of choosing which version is best a little more difficult. Let's start with the Xbox version. Ideally, you'd expect the Xbox version to look a little bit better than the original PS2 release, and for the most part that's true. However, the game is super jaggy. The aliasing on just about every surface really pops out, especially when you're running at 480p. Like at times I felt like my eyesight was going, or that I was watching a 3D movie without the glasses on or something. The control has been changed up just like it was changed for the Xbox versions of GTA 3 and Vice City, so your gas and brake are on the triggers. For the most part, the game controls just fine, though the flight stuff is a little crazy. Nothing you can't get used to, though. The other stick-out moment of the Xbox version is its load times. While they're probably on par with the PS2 version of the game, perhaps a little longer in spots, the game goes out of its way to let you know that it's loading. The PS2 version just hit all the loading once you got into the game. Like when you go get a haircut, the barber covers Carl's head, and when he moves out of the way, the new hairstyle's loaded up, and it's like magic. Here, like a big black loading bar appears while it loads, the hairstyle. It's just weird. The PC version of the game doesn't have any of those loading issues. In fact, it's the fastest loading version of the game, which isn't really much of a surprise. Also, it has the potential to be the best looking edition because you have a lot of graphical options to play with. Running at a higher resolution is the obvious choice, and it supports several resolutions, including some for those with widescreen displays. There's a slider that you can move to turn up or reduce the draw distance. The GTA series is pretty notorious for having a lot of draw-in and fogging effects. You can all but eliminate that on the PC. You also have options for anti-aliasing, but at some point, you're going to need a gargantuan machine to run the game with everything turned all the way up. A system that meets the recommended system requirements should do just fine with most of the settings turned up a bit. While the graphics aren't really a problem, the audio is a bit of a different story. We played the game on a few different machines. One machine didn't have audio trouble at all. Lucky. The others did have some real crazy stuff going on. One test machine would simply lose all voice and sound effects from time to time. All you could hear is the music, and occasionally an engine noise would break through the silence too. The third machine, the fastest of them all, would start playing loud, crazy sound effects. Whenever you load a saved game, it sounded more like there was a helicopter trying to land inside Carl's head. If you drove away from the save point, the sound would eventually stop. The PC version lets you play with a dual analog controller if you're going for a console-style experience, but the game also plays just fine with a mouse and keyboard. With a mouse for aiming, you lose the lock-on abilities found in the gamepad control scheme, but considering it's stupid easy to line up headshot after headshot, the game's probably a little easier with the mouse. Driving with the keyboard, however, leaves a little bit to be desired. The PC version of the game would be the easy choice if not for the random audio bugs, but since they do appear to be fairly random, it's certainly possible that some players won't run into them. For the rest of us, perhaps a patch will appear at some point in the future. But even when you take these bugs and the occasional flaws of the Xbox version into consideration, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is still an amazing game. There's a ton to do and see, and most importantly, all the stuff that fits right into the context of the game. The dialogue's fantastic, the characters are memorable, and all in all, you should definitely play it.